Okay, so although I have been down this health road many times before, and I was a certified personal trainer and boot camp instructor for 6 years, and I lost 75 pounds in 10 months, and all that jazz, I am pretty much starting over from scratch. And now I am almost 40. I have an autoimmune disease, more than one, and we've got just so much stuff going on. I'm trying to figure out this health stuff once and for all. And the most frustrating part is that there's so much misinformation out there. I'm gonna try to wade through it with the experience that I have, not only helping others, but also helping myself and trying to see what all we can find out. Now, I'm not currently a certified personal trainer anymore. That might change in the future, I'm not sure. I am a certified master life coach, as well as in the area of health and wellness. I mean, like, I haven't ever completely left the health and wellness industry, but we're going to try to wade through the BS to figure out what stuff is true. There's tons of different research I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be reading books and seeing what these different authors say. One of the first projects I'm working on is watching the Andrew Huberman podcast with Dr. Sarah Gottfried. It was suggested to me by an astrologer. Don't freak out about the whole wooey thing. This one had some good stuff to say. So yeah, I decided to sit down and watch that podcast, and we're bouncing off from that. So I've got a lot of things I'm gonna be trying over the next few months. I've already got some things in the works that I've already started. So let's kind of get the show on the road. Okay, so I watched the Huberman podcast with Sarah Gottfried called Dr. Sarah Gottfried, How to Optimize Female Hormone Health for Vitality and Longevity. It's pretty interesting. So I had my notebook. I have several pages of notes from this discussion. It's a lot of different stuff that I wrote down, a lot of interesting information. They touched on tons of different things. Why is it that we don't get taught this kind of stuff in school? So I homeschool my kid, and I went through public school when I was younger. Knowing what I was exposed to as a public school student, and then kind of making sure that my kid is able to get information that I did not get as a public school student really changes things. This is part of the reason I'm such an advocate for self-educating yourself on so many different topics. You can delve farther in than public school will often allow you to do, because they also have certain time frames that stuff has to be done, and a lot of times they'll try to go too quickly through things, and I know it's just part of the system. And so, you know, I pity the teachers, because I know that the teachers just wish that they could do so much more. Homeschooling my kid allows me to kind of delve into things a lot farther and teach to a depth that I feel more comfortable with. So watching podcasts like this and getting far more information, just something as basic as, did you know? Fun fact, that the gut is 10 feet longer in females compared to males. What? That's like a basic biological difference. I think that's just crazy. And like, women have 10 times more digestive issues compared to men, right? There was tons of stuff that was brought up in here. Yeah. So I went ahead and went online, and I did go ahead and purchase her first book. So this is apparently her first book, The Hormone Cure, and there's tons of information in here. I just opened it yesterday, and so far I'm liking the kind of information that's here. I like the fact that it's not meant to be read from the beginning to the end. It's actually meant as a tool to utilize. So in the front, there's actually a quiz to answer a bunch of questions about cortisol and testosterone and estrogen. And so it asks you a bunch of questions, and then based upon your answers to those questions, it's like, hey, okay, I think you need to go read this chapter next. So it is meant for you to kind of bounce around in the book. It's not meant to be read from beginning to end. And then at the end, what I found very cool, there are so many appendices. Let's see, the appendices start on page 311. So this is the book, the front half, and then all of this second half, that's all appendices. So yeah, and like this one is the Gottfried Protocol by Hormone Imbalance. So she's got charts of information back here. That's just Appendix A. Appendix B is vocabulary words throughout the book that she knows that you probably want to look at or look up. Appendix C is hormones and their functions. Okay, just real nice and basic. And a freaking chart. All right, you know how easy that would have made life when you're trying to figure out what all of these things that your doctor is telling you it actually goes towards. And then Appendix D, how to find and work collaboratively with practitioners for your hormone cure. Yeah, this is some serious help. Like I said, I'm just dipping my toes into that. But yeah, I've got several pages of notes from this podcast, and I want to find other people who also work in the same field because I do want different sources of information. So yeah, the research does not stop here. It does not just go with one person. I need to find probably at least 3 or 4 other doctors, you know, people who work in that field to kind of find information with. So this is a long going process. And it was actually kind of funny because in the book she mentions, and I was like, ah, damn it. On page, let's see, page 23, she states, I encourage my patients to see the path toward hormone balance as an epic journey, a womanly version of an odyssey. And my note on the side is, well, shit. But she also mentions that health is a complex ecosystem on that same page, and I do completely agree. So, but yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, so far, it's not meant to just like be read through, like you bounce through the information, which I enjoy far more, especially with the short attention spans of today and dealing with all that brain fog that we talk about. Yeah, it's kind of nice that the book is set up like that. So yeah, I'm gonna continue working on this. I think I'm gonna go maybe look up more information in the book or maybe find another video or podcast. I don't know yet. My brain's kind of fried. I need to refill my water. So that's what I'm gonna go do instead. Yeah, so let's see what else we can find. Okay, so everything I keep reading about PCOS and high cortisol and thyroid and all that kind of jazz keeps talking about breathing exercises and doing things like meditation and yoga. So last night I went ahead and did like a 10-minute meditation thing. I have an app on my phone that just kind of does one that I don't mind for like 10 minutes. So I did that last night, and then I went ahead and scheduled myself today for a yoga class at the gym. We're gonna try this. I'm usually very bored during anything that's slow, like yoga, so I don't quite know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna try new things today. So I have a whole body of spandex on, and I have a 10 o'clock class at the gym to do yoga. But first, we're gonna go get breakfast tacos. Okay, that was interesting. As you can see, I had to stick my hair up. I had a low side braid when I got there. I'm sweating balls. So that was interesting, but I had a good time. The instructor was really nice. She was great, chill, a lot of fun. So I have to stay consistent with yoga. Let's just see how this goes for the next few months. Got my water, so that's good. But yeah, so I'm gonna stay consistent with going on Sundays, get my yoga in, bring my sunglasses next time I come because it is sunny. I'm sweaty, I'm gross. I'm supposed to hang out with friends in about an hour or two. I think I'm gonna rinse off before I get dressed for that. Yeah, I made it. Dude, I'm so sweaty. At least my yoga pants have been to yoga. Okay, so I think it's pretty safe to say that that yoga class, the first one, kicked my ass. All right, I was not prepared for that. I kept being told that yoga was relaxing and that, you know, people go to de-stress, and good God, you guys, that was rough. Although I have to say, I'm actually very happy about it. Otherwise, I would have been bored out of my mind. And a lot of times the yoga that we get introduced to on like random YouTube channels and stuff, especially if you're doing it by yourself at home and trying to get into it that way, absolutely bored out of my skull. So I'm really glad that I went to the class. If you're wondering, yes, I've been going to more of them. The instructor's name is Emily. She's a very nice human. So I've been consistent, and I actually went like 3 times the next week to that class. So don't worry, I am sticking to it. I am doing well with it. My shoulders are more than happy to be there. And so yeah, but it's been a lot of fun and I've been enjoying it. But yes, yoga is far harder than I was originally assuming. So good job, you guys. I'm excited.